You've spent your entire life believing emotional depth made you human. It made you prey. Every feeling you honored became a leash someone else held. Chapter 1: The Architecture of Capture. You were taught that feeling deeply was a virtue. That emotional openness signified strength of character. That vulnerability was the bridge to meaningful connection. You were taught by people who benefited from your openness. Let me be precise. Emotions are not experiences. They are access points. Every feeling you allow to surface becomes a door. And doors, by their nature, can be entered by anyone who learns where they are. You have spent years installing doors everywhere. In your voice, in your reactions, in the way your eyes change when certain words are spoken. You have made yourself architecturally porous, and then wondered why people keep walking through you, rearranging your furniture, leaving when they've taken what they came for. This is not metaphor. This is structural reality. Consider how you were built. From childhood, you were rewarded for emotional display. Cry and attention arrived. Show excitement and approval followed. Express hurt and sometimes, not always but sometimes, the hurting stopped. You were trained like an animal in a laboratory. Stimulus, response, reward. The lesson was clear. Your emotions are currency. Spend them and you receive. What no one told you is that currency flows both ways. The moment you revealed which emotions could be triggered, you handed over a map. A blueprint of your capture points. The people around you, some consciously, most unconsciously, began logging data. They noted what made you soften, what made you fold, what made you stay when you should have left, what made you forgive what should have been unforgivable. They didn't need chains. They had your emotional architecture, and you maintained it for them. You kept every door oiled and functional. You believed this made you real, authentic, human. It made you legible. Understand what legibility means in a world of competing interests. It means your next move can be predicted. Your limits can be calculated. Your breaking point can be scheduled. A legible man is a controllable man, not through force, but through the elegant manipulation of his own internal states. You thought your emotional world was private, sacred, yours. Nothing about you has been private for years. Every relationship you've entered has been, at some level, a reconnaissance mission conducted on your interior. Your lovers learned the precise frequency of guilt that makes you comply. Your family learned which version of disappointment freezes you in place. Your employers learned that your need for acknowledgement makes you work past exhaustion for a word of praise that costs them nothing. You were not loved. You were decoded. And the decoding was easy because you refused to encrypt anything. You believed transparency was moral. You believed hiding your emotions was a form of lying. You believed that real men feel openly and express freely. You believed what made you capturable. Here is the lens shift you must accept before anything else in this doctrine can take hold. Emotional availability is not intimacy. It is exposure. There is no connection in being easily read. There is only dependency, and dependency always favors the one who needs less. Think of any negotiation, any war, any game with stakes. Who wins? The one whose intentions are legible, whose reactions are predictable, whose emotional thresholds are public knowledge. Or the one who reveals nothing, responds to nothing, gives no data that can be used for calibration? You know the answer. You've always known it. You simply didn't want to apply it to your personal life because you wanted to believe that love and friendship operated on different rules. They do not. The same laws of leverage apply everywhere. In the boardroom, they are called strategy. In relationships, they are called emotional intelligence, by the people using them against you. You've been operating as an open source system in a world of proprietary players. Everyone can read your code. Everyone can predict your outputs. Everyone can trigger your subroutines with the right input. And you've called this being emotionally available. No, you've been emotionally conquered, so softly you didn't feel the occupation begin. This chapter is the first wall. The recognition that your interior world has never been protected. That you built a home with no locks and wondered why strangers kept sleeping in your bed. The Cold Doctrine begins here, with the understanding that everything you were told about emotional openness was an installation program, written by people who needed you accessible. Chapter 2, The Mechanics of Emotional Hijacking. Now that you understand you've been architecturally compromised, you need to see the tools they used. The specific instruments inserted into your open doors. This is not abstract. These are mechanisms, clinical, repeatable, devastating. The first mechanism, anchoring. Someone learns what makes you feel safe. A tone of voice, a specific phrase, a gesture that mimics early comfort. They deploy it strategically, not constantly but precisely when your defenses rise. You feel the warmth. You associate them with the feeling. Now they own a button that bypasses your logic entirely. You felt this? The person who wronged you says one sentence in that voice, and your justified anger dissolves into something softer. You hate yourself afterward. You don't understand why you folded. Now you understand. You were anchored. The button was installed long ago. They simply pressed it. The second mechanism, intermittent reinforcement. This is the slot machine principle applied to human attachment. Consistent reward creates expectation. Consistent punishment creates avoidance. But inconsistent reward, random, unpredictable, sometimes present and sometimes withheld, creates obsession. You've lived this. The person who occasionally gave you warmth between long stretches of coldness. You didn't bond to the warmth. You bonded to the uncertainty. You kept pulling the lever, waiting for the payout, becoming more invested with every empty spin. This mechanism is why you stayed in situations that gave you almost nothing. The almost is the trap. The inconsistency is the chain. The third mechanism, manufactured guilt. Guilt is the most elegant leash ever designed. It requires no external enforcement. Once installed, you police yourself. Here's how it was installed in you. Someone expressed pain. They linked that pain to your actions, sometimes legitimately, often not. You felt responsible. You adjusted your behavior to prevent their pain. They learned that displaying pain controls you. Now you carry guilt like a compass. It points toward their comfort, away from your sovereignty. You make decisions not based on what serves you but on what prevents the guilt response. They don't need to be present. The mechanism runs automatically. The fourth mechanism, identity fusion. This is the deepest cut. Someone reflects back to you an image of who you are. You adopt it. Your sense of self becomes dependent on their perception. Now leaving them means losing yourself. Not just losing the relationship, losing the version of you that only exists in their eyes. This is why people stay in situations that are visibly destroying them. Departure feels like death. Because it is. The fused identity cannot survive separation. You've been fused without knowing it. Every time you wondered who you'd be without someone, you revealed the fusion. These four mechanisms, anchoring, intermittent reinforcement, manufactured guilt, identity fusion, are not rare. They are standard. They operate in nearly every relationship you've had. They work because you were open. Because your emotional access points were unmapped, unguarded, available to anyone who learned the patterns. You were not unlucky in love. You were not choosing the wrong people. You were mechanically vulnerable and the mechanisms found you. This is not about blame. Predators and users are simply people who learned the mechanics earlier than you did. Many don't even know they're using them. They absorb the techniques through instinct, through watching others, through trial and error on previous targets. You were practice. You were refinement. You were the surface they tested their instruments against. And because you believed emotional openness was virtue, you never questioned why you kept feeling operated on. You thought the pain was love. You thought the exhaustion was commitment. You thought the confusion was complexity. It was surgery, performed without anesthesia, repeatedly. The Cold Doctrine does not ask you to become cruel. It asks you to become impenetrable to these mechanisms, to recognize anchoring when it's deployed, to starve intermittent reinforcement of your attention, to reject manufactured guilt as foreign code, to maintain an identity that requires no external server. This is not coldness. This is sovereignty over your own nervous system. They cannot hijack what they cannot access. Chapter 3, The Three Captive Types. You've seen the mechanisms. Now see the victims they create. 3 archetypes. 3 patterns of capture. You will find yourself in one. The recognition will be uncomfortable. That discomfort is the point. The reactor. This is the man whose emotions are public weather. He responds immediately to every stimulus. Praise lifts him. Criticism crushes him. A text left unread for hours ruins his afternoon. A slight at work consumes his evening. The reactor believes his sensitivity is intelligence. He thinks he reads situations deeply. In reality, he is simply moved by them, constantly, predictably, exhaustingly. Others learned his rhythms quickly. They know exactly which words make him defensive, which silences make him desperate, which displays of disappointment make him scramble to repair. He is the easiest to control because he provides immediate feedback. Every manipulation lands visibly. The operator sees what works and adjusts in real time. The reactor is not passionate. He is externally governed. A puppet who feels every string but never thinks to cut them. The rescuer. This is the man who locates his value in solving others. He finds broken people and appoints himself healer. He believes this is love. It is transaction. The rescuer cannot tolerate another's pain, not from compassion but because their pain triggers his anxiety. He fixes them to fix his own discomfort. His help is selfish, disguised as sacrifice. Others learn this immediately. They perform damage. They display wounds at strategic intervals. The rescuer rushes in, depletes himself, and receives just enough gratitude to keep him invested. He thinks he's strong because he carries others. He is weak because he cannot exist without someone to carry. Remove the broken person and the rescuer collapses. His identity requires a victim. He is controlled through manufactured helplessness. Show fragility and he will hand over everything. The romantic. This is the man who believes in the mythology, soulmates, destiny. The one person who will finally understand. He chases a feeling he experienced once, maybe in adolescence, maybe in a single perfect month, and spends decades trying to recreate it. The romantic is addicted to a ghost. He compares every real person to an idealized composite that never existed. He stays in empty situations because he sees potential. He leaves functional situations because they lack magic. Others learn to perform the mythology. They mirror his language. They echo his dreams. They manufacture the feeling just long enough to establish dependency, then withdraw, knowing he'll chase the ghost forever. The romantic is controlled through hope. Show him a glimpse of the ideal and he will tolerate years of emptiness waiting for its return. 3 archetypes. 3 leashes. Perhaps you are one. Perhaps you are a hybrid, rotating between them depending on the situation. It does not matter. What matters is the structural truth beneath all 3. Each type needs something from outside himself. The reactor needs external stability. The rescuer needs external brokenness. The romantic needs external magic. All 3 have outsourced their completion. All 3 are waiting for the world to provide what they cannot generate internally. This is the capture. Not the mechanisms, those are just tools. The capture is the dependency itself. The belief that something out there must be obtained for you to be whole. The Cold Doctrine offers no comfort here. Only amputation. Chapter 4, A History Written in Submission. You think your emotional vulnerability is personal. A flaw in your individual wiring. A result of your specific childhood. Your unique traumas. It is not personal. It is historical. You were born into a system that requires emotionally accessible men. This is not conspiracy. It is economy. It is structure. It is thousands of years of refinement. Go back far enough. Tribal societies. Small groups. Survival dependent on cohesion. What was the threat? Expulsion. Exile. Separation from the group meant death. Literal death, alone in the wilderness, removed from shared resources and protection. The terror of exile is written in your nervous system. It predates language. When you feel the fear of rejection, of abandonment, of someone withdrawing approval, you are experiencing an ancient alarm designed for a world where social exclusion meant being eaten by predators. That world is gone. The alarm remains. And the alarm has been exploited ever since. Every power structure in history understood this. Control access to the group and you control the individual. Threaten exile and compliance follows. This operated in religions, in monarchies, in military structures, in corporations. It operates in your relationships. When someone withdraws warmth strategically, they are leveraging the same mechanism that tribal elders used to enforce obedience. When you feel desperate to repair, to apologize, to fix, you are not making a rational decision. You are responding to an extinction-level threat that no longer exists. But you don't know it doesn't exist. Your body believes it does. Now layer modern systems onto this ancient wiring. Consumer economies require emotionally reactive buyers. Calm people don't impulse purchase. Content people don't chase upgrades. You must be kept in a state of mild dissatisfaction, always feeling you lack something, always reaching for the next product that promises completion. Your emotional accessibility is profitable. Entertainment industries require emotionally invested audiences. You must care about outcomes. You must feel tension, release, longing. Your nervous system must be activated again and again so you return for the next episode, the next sequel, the next outrage cycle. Your emotional accessibility is content. Relationship marketplaces require emotionally hungry participants. Dating platforms profit from prolonged searching. The man who finds stability disappears from the app. The man who keeps chasing, keeps swiping, keeps hoping, he generates revenue. Your emotional accessibility is product. You have never existed outside these systems. From birth, you were trained to remain emotionally open because open men are usable men. They buy, they watch, they chase, they comply. The modern man who feels deeply, is not evolved. He is optimized for extraction. And the extraction is constant. Your attention, your money, your time, your peace, all siphoned through the emotional access points you were taught to keep unguarded. History is not on your side. Every structure that shaped you benefits from your continued vulnerability. Parents needed compliant children. Schools needed manageable students. Employers need controllable workers. Partners need predictable companions. No one in the chain had any incentive to teach you inaccessibility, so you were never taught. The Cold Doctrine is not self-help. It is counter-programming. It is the deliberate reversal of thousands of years of conditioning designed to keep you reactive, dependent, and available for use. You are not healing. You are defecting from a system that was never designed for your sovereignty. Chapter 5, The Cold Doctrine, Tactical Withdrawal. You understand the architecture. You see the mechanisms. You recognize the archetypes. You know the historical forces. Now the question becomes operational. What do you do? The Cold Doctrine is not philosophy. It is protocol. A series of behavioral installations that make you structurally unreachable. Not numb. Not dissociated. Not performatively stoic. Inaccessible by design. Protocol 1. Delay. Your first vulnerability is speed. You respond too quickly. A message arrives and you reply. An accusation lands and you defend. An emotional grenade is thrown and you detonate on schedule. Speed is slavery. Immediacy is control. The delay is your first weapon. Not hours. Not days. Simply enough. Enough time to observe your own reaction before acting on it. Enough space to recognize whether you are responding from sovereignty or from programming. When they expect you to react in seconds, react in minutes. When they expect minutes, take hours. The gap between stimulus and response is where your freedom lives. Most of your regrets exist because you responded at the speed they required. You matched their urgency. You accepted their timeline. You let their emotional pace dictate yours. No more. You move when you decide, not when they need. Protocol 2. Detachment from outcome. You have been invested in outcomes you cannot control. Whether they respond, whether they stay, whether they approve. You placed your stability in external hands and called it love. Detachment is not indifference. It is sovereignty. You care about your actions, those are yours. You release their reactions, those are not. This is surgical. When you speak fully. When you act, you commit completely. But you do not attach to the reception. You do not adjust your interior state based on their interpretation. They may leave. They may rage. They may weep. None of this changes what you did or who you are. The moment your actions become hostage to their response, you are owned again. Detach the wires. Keep your hands. Surrender the outcomes. Protocol 3. Selective silence. Words are data. Every sentence you speak is decoded for access points. They listen not to understand, they listen to map. Silence is territory. It is unreadable space. When you do not explain, they cannot counter. When you do not justify, they cannot argue. When you do not reveal, they cannot leverage. You have been taught that communication is health. It is not. Communication is exposure, justified only when the recipient has earned access. Most have not earned access. Most have simply assumed it. They asked and you answered. They pushed and you opened. You confused interrogation with intimacy. Selective silence means you choose what is known about you. You control the map. No one gets the full blueprint. Ever. Protocol 4. Emotional rehearsal. Before entering any charged situation, you rehearse. Not words, states. You decide in advance what emotional frequency you will maintain regardless of what occurs. They will attempt to shift you. They will deploy anchors. They will use tone, timing, old wounds. If you have not rehearsed your state, you will be moved. Rehearsal is armor. You walk in knowing exactly where your center is, and you do not leave it. Whatever they perform, you remain at the frequency you chose. This is not suppression. It is pre-selection. You are not refusing to feel. You are refusing to be moved by their performance. These 4 protocols, delay, detachment, silence, rehearsal, are the foundation. They will feel unnatural. They should. You have spent a lifetime practicing the opposite. Immediate response. Invested outcomes. Verbal flooding. Reactive presence. That life created the capture you're escaping. The new protocols will feel cold, mechanical, even cruel. They are not cruel. They are boundaried. They are the architecture of a man who can no longer be entered without permission. Chapter 6. The Death of the Feeling Self. You cannot install new architecture into a collapsing structure. The protocols will not hold if the foundation remains compromised. The foundation is your identity, and your identity must die. This is not metaphor. This is execution. The man you have been, the one who felt everything, shared everything, hoped endlessly, that man was constructed for capture. Every trait you considered your personality was an access point. Your warmth was a door. Your depth was a window. Your passion was an unlocked entrance. You must kill him, not hide him, not quiet him, not temporarily restrain him while you learn new tricks. You must execute the identity entirely. Burial without ceremony. No eulogy. This will feel like loss. It is. You are losing the version of yourself that others could reach. You are losing the self that partners found emotionally available. You are losing the man your mother praised for his sensitivity. You are losing the identity that friends called real and authentic. You are losing everything that kept you capturable. Grieve if you must, but grieve quickly. The old self does not deserve extended mourning. He was not serving you. He was serving everyone who accessed him. His openness was their resource. His availability was their convenience. His emotional depth was their control panel. You owe him nothing. He owes you years. Now, what replaces him? The sovereign operator. This is not a persona. It is an architecture. A structural identity built on inaccessibility, self-reference, and strategic engagement. The sovereign operator does not wonder what others think. He decides what he projects. He does not seek understanding. He offers what he chooses to offer. He does not need validation. His internal authority is complete. This is not arrogance. Arrogance requires an audience. The sovereign operator requires nothing. He is unreachable, not because he hides, but because there is nothing to reach for. His stability is internal. His validation is internal. His completion is internal. He interacts with the world from fullness, not toward it. When someone attempts to access him emotionally, they find no entry point. Not coldness, absence of dependency. He does not need their approval. He does not fear their withdrawal. He does not crave their warmth. They cannot control what does not need them. This identity feels empty at first, because you have confused emotional noise with aliveness. You have believed that intensity meant existence. The quiet of sovereignty will feel like death. It is death of the capturable self. But within the silence, something else emerges. A solidity you have never experienced. A calm that does not require external maintenance. A presence that is not performed for reception. You stop shape-shifting for approval. You stop monitoring their reactions. You stop calculating how your words will land. You simply are. Unreadable. Unmoved. Unreachable. The sovereign operator does not announce himself. He does not explain his transformation. He simply stops providing access and lets the confusion of others confirm his success. They will notice. They will probe. They will test the old doors. The doors will not open. Some will leave. Good. They needed access, not you. Some will rage. Good. Their anger reveals dependency on your previous availability. Some will mourn the old you. Let them. He is dead. You are not required to explain the execution. You are not required to process it with them. You are only required to maintain the new architecture. Identity death is the price of sovereignty. Pay it. Chapter 7, The Final Perimeter. You have the architecture. You have the protocols. You have executed the old identity. Now the only question remaining is whether you will maintain what you've built. Most will not. This is not pessimism. It is pattern recognition. The majority who hear this doctrine will feel its truth. They will nod. They will recognize themselves in the mechanisms, the archetypes, the history. They will resolve to change. And within weeks they will revert. Someone will come. Someone soft. Someone who seems different. Someone who speaks the right words, performs the right vulnerability, mirrors the man they hope you still are beneath the new architecture. And you will feel the pull. The old wiring does not disappear. It waits. It hides in the nervous system like dormant code, ready to reactivate at the right trigger. A certain voice, a certain look, a certain manufactured moment that feels like destiny. You will want to open. Just once. Just slightly. Just for this one person who finally understands. This is the final test, and most will fail it. Understand what failure means. It means returning to captivity voluntarily. It means handing back the keys you fought to reclaim. It means proving that your sovereignty was performance, temporary posture that collapsed at the first convincing invitation. The perimeter must hold, especially when it's difficult, especially when the person seems worthy. especially when your body screams to let them in. The doctrine is not conditional. It does not pause for compelling exceptions. The moment you create an exception, you create an access point. And access points multiply. One door open leads to 2, then 4. Then you wake up one morning fully accessible again, wondering how you returned to the architecture you swore you demolished. This is how it happens. Not through dramatic failure. Through gradual permissions. Through small exceptions that compound into total exposure. The Cold Doctrine is permanent or it is nothing. This does not mean isolation. It means selection. The sovereign operator may engage. He may connect. He may even allow proximity. But he does not allow access. He does not provide control points. He does not outsource his stability. Anyone who requires your emotional availability to remain is requiring your captivity. Anyone who cannot exist beside your sovereignty is seeking a captive, not a partner. Let them leave. Their departure is confirmation, not loss. The perimeter is not a wall against connection. It is a filter against capture. Learn the difference. You will be tested repeatedly. By old faces returning. By new faces advancing. By your own loneliness weaponized against you. By memories of warmth that now feel like loss. These are not signs to reconsider. They are signs the doctrine is working. The tests come because you've changed. The pull intensifies because you've withdrawn. Hold. Maintain. The perimeter is your sovereignty made visible. Every day you hold it, you compound your freedom. Every day you maintain it, you prove the old self is truly dead. There is no graduation. No moment where the work completes and vigilance becomes unnecessary. The perimeter is permanent practice. It is daily selection. It is the continuous choice to remain unreachable by those who would reach for your control points. This is your doctrine now. Cold, surgical, non-negotiable. You did not come here for comfort. You came because comfort made you capturable. You came because warmth was a leash. You came because everything you were taught about emotional openness delivered you into the hands of those who used it. No more. You are the sovereign operator. Unreachable. Unreadable. Unmoved. The perimeter holds. Or you were never sovereign at all.